Hello, everybody. Welcome back, loves. Welcome to Queen Cancer Tarot channel, everyone. My name is Catherine, and happy birthday! Happy birthday to all of my cancers. It's cancer season, you guys. And happy birthday to each and every one of you. And for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome to the channel. My name is Catherine. I am the host. I'm here to bring you all clarity, guidance, and love messages. And also tonight, we are going to be doing a you versus them. This is a love bomb. I already have the cards out, so I'm just going to let you know what I've got going on. If you want to see the cards being dealt, I do have another link for that. I will tell you the video actually, I had an issue, a glitch with the video, so I had to start it all over. But no worries, I have everything in order. I have your pretty much your cards, your person's energy as well, and then we'll finish out the remainder of the reading. Okay, where we left off. So, starting off with your energy. All right. First of all, again, those of you who are new to the channel, all the information to my other two channels are below. The links for both channels are below if you're interested in having a personal reading. And you would like to book a reading with me, I am accepting readings, and my website is where you can book your reading. The link is below. I'm also running a sale for cancer season, and I am going to be doing 30% off your entire purchase. Okay. The coupon code is birthday. So make sure when you go to the website and you go to the checkout that you use that birthday coupon code, and you will get 30% off your entire purchase. That also includes extended, you guys. And if this reading goes into an extended, which it likely will, um, the extendeds are $11.11, but they are also 30% off. Okay. So keep that in mind. Also, if you're interested in becoming a member, you do get all access to all of the extendeds for free. You also get a free question of the month and early access to many of the members' first readings and all of the members only readings. Okay, which I will be posting more and more of the daily Cancer versus all 12 signs and other different types of specialty spreads. I'll also be doing twin flame readings on a weekly basis um, on members only. Okay, so if you are interested, membership is $4.99 a month. You can start and stop at any time. Okay. Let's see what else. Oh, you guys, I also do a giveaway every week, every month. I am going to be going live to announce the winners. I do a 3-question reading every week. I announce typically 3 winners every single week. And monthly, I will be giving away 3 prizes every single month. I announce those winners on the first of the month, so I will be making that announcement on the 1st of July. Not quite sure when this is going to be uploading, you guys, but either way, please stay tuned for that. Turn your notifications on so you can know when I go live, and also when I announce the winners. Okay. All right. So let's get started. We're going to do you versus them. We're going to look at your energy first, and then we'll look at your person's energy. All right. Okay. So, again, for those of you who are just joining, my camera shut off in the previous video. So, I'm doing this all over again pretty much. However, I have all the cards already in order. So, hopefully, this should go a lot quicker than the initial reading went. And y'all, believe it or not, I literally had to put my headphones on, which actually I think I'm going to be working with my headphones on more often, because it helps me focus. I have just like, I'm such a terrible focus person. Like, if I hear things going on in the background, I'm tuning into everything. I'm literally tuning into every single thing. Y'all know that's what a reader does. So that's why I like to do my readings when I'm alone. But these days, it seems like there's always someone in the house, um, other than the people that live here. So it's been quite annoying for me as an empath, because I'm taking all of that energy in. And as y'all know, empaths take it all in, all of the energy around them, the people that are around them. It's just a hot mess. So I try not to have a lot going on around me when I'm doing y'all's readings. And I hope y'all appreciate that, because I feel like I get more of just you guys's energy through the readings, rather than having to start and stop if something is interfering. You know what I mean? Because that can interfere with the message, and it just takes longer. And I don't like to drown y'all's readings out for too long. I'm trying to be quicker with the readings, because I think you guys enjoy them better when the information just kind of flows. So it's okay if I jab at the beginning, but once I get started with the reading, I think y'all appreciate the reading kind of flowing and not like a bunch of like backtracking, and that just kind of throws people off. So, and I don't like to do a whole lot of editing, y'all. So I want to try to do as good of a job as I possibly can on the first take, as opposed to having to go back and edit a bunch, because it just puts so much more hours into upload or studio time, y'all. And y'all already know how that goes. I have a life as well. So, as much studio time that I can eliminate as possible, the better. All right, guys. So, let's look at Cancer. All right. So, we have past, present, future, and then I have the cards that were underneath the deck. And then I also clarified each of these. Okay. So, we have all of that. And then I pulled 3 oracle messages for you. I did not clarify the oracle with the tarot, which I will do for you, but I did do that for your person. So I will do that for you before we move on to your person's energy. All right. And that's just with these 3 oracle decks here that I pulled. So y'all know once we get to it. Anyways, let's get started. So for you, Cancer, past energy, we have the King of Pentacles here and the Devil in the reverse. Okay, strong Capricorn energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. All right, and then we have, I'll put these here for now. I'll put these here for now, y'all, so we don't get confused. So we don't get confused. Okay. Um, I need to somehow, I don't know why I'm getting Temu notifications. I've never ordered anything from Temu in my entire life. But I keep getting notifications on my smartphone. I'm ready to throw it out the window. Okay. And they're like, action required. And I keep thinking it's something that I did, and it's not. It's junk mail. It's ridiculous. Okay, so we have the King of Pentacles, we have the Devil in the reverse. Okay, and then we have the Two of Wands and the King of Swords. Get the cards a little bit closer so you can see them. Two of Wands and the King of Swords. And then we have the Eight of Swords in the reverse and the Queen of Swords. I have a lot of swords here. Okay. Could be dealing with a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius. Could be. Don't have to, but you could be. All right. And then underneath the deck, let's see how we want to do this. Move these to the side for a second. Underneath the deck, we have the High Priestess and the Four of Pentacles here. Okay. Piscean energy, strong Piscean energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And then we have the Five of Pentacles and the Judgment card. Okay, fire energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. All right. Okay. All right. So this is your energy, Cancer. Okay. So the biggest thing that I gather from your energy here, Cancer, is that you are extremely protective or guarded. You have the king to the queen, the king to the queen of swords. That's a true pair. Okay. Um, and this is also two people who could be at odds with one another. I feel like the two of you are either at odds or there's you and your person are at odds. Or there's a lot of defensiveness going on, but there are two people here. So I feel like, there's an energy of two people who are in a connection. Um, but there's a lot of like guarded, defensive energy on your part. You have the Four of Pentacles here. That represents someone who's being very guarded, right? Underneath the deck with the High Priestess here. Again, this is someone who is, you know, very much very guarded about I'm going to say in a spiritual aspect. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you're not just going to be in a committed relationship with just anyone. You're very, very much protective or very guarded about who you let close to you. So, I feel like if anything, like you're very spiritual, okay? Or you operate on a very spiritual aspect. You're very protective of your spirituality. You're very protective of your spiritual energy. You're very protective of your relationship with the divine. And I also feel like any connection or relationship that you have, it's going to have to be on that same level. Like you're going to have to vibe with that person in that way. If you can't connect with this person on a spiritual level, you're not going to be able to be with this person. The reason why you're not going to be able to be with yourself. You're not going to be able to sleep at night. You know what I mean? Like you have a very strong moral compass. So anyone that you're in a relationship is going to have to be on that same level. You have also have the 5 of Pentacles here that represents a aspect of fear or anxiety. And with the Judgment card, you have a fear of being judged and being judged for not protecting your spirit when it comes to your relationships, okay? Or when it comes to this relationship with this person. There's an energy of you want to ensure that you are protecting yourself in the way that God expects for you to. You know what I mean? Like you have a strong reverence for spirit, okay? A strong reverence and respect for spirit. So you have a very high level of consciousness when it comes to your relationships, okay? In the past, with the King of Pentacles here, and then you have the Devil in the reverse, this lets me know that, okay, you were either married to someone, um, and it was a very toxic situation. You could have been with someone who was, this person may have dealt with addictions. You could have, dealt with addictions with this person, or there's an energy of you may have been addicted to being in the connection with this person. There was something toxic about the connection that you were, or the person that you were with, whether you were married to this person or you live with this person, you were committed to this person in some way. Okay. Um, Also, the King of Pentacles reflects uh, someone, that this is somewhere where you're supposed to feel safe, right? So I feel like this was either a marriage or, someone you were in a relationship with, you live with this person, very close ties, right? Very close connection. With the Devil in the reverse, I do feel like there was a separation, or there's an energy of you got away from this toxic connection, or you were able to disconnect, or there was some sort of separation here, because that Devil in the reverse talks about independence. Okay, it also uh, reflects freedom. It talks about freedom. Okay, it talks about freedom. Okay, someone who was in captivity in the past and they no longer are. This also can refer to some sort of um, what's the word, revelation. It's like you're finding out about something. It's you're being, and whatever information you find out, it's freeing, or there's an energy of you being released from bondage of some kind, right? So I feel like there was a situation where you were in a toxic marriage or some sort of a toxic relationship, that you live with someone, and I feel like, you know you literally had to break free from this connection in the past. So I feel like with the 2 of Wands here and the King of Swords in the current energy, this is right now, that 2 of Wands is someone who's sitting in their comfort zone, or they're sitting in as like a security blanket. So they're not really, they're keeping it safe. They're playing it very safe in their relationships. The King of Swords, this reflects someone who is, you can say, someone who is a stand up person. I feel like this is an energy of someone who's very devoted. This could be, when I think of the King of Swords, that's the, to me, I call that the police energy of the deck. You know what I'm saying? This is someone who's coming in, making things official. Okay. This represents a higher level of authority, right? This also represents an energy of someone who is very honest. Okay. I feel like the King of Swords tells the truth, right? Um, that King of Swords is also someone who comes and goes. Okay. They come and they go. So, with that Two of Wands and the King of Swords, this is someone who's very much playing it safe because they have no intentions on being in a situation that they can't get out of. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like they have the need to come and go as they please, right? This is like a safety mechanism. And this can happen when you are in a relationship that has been abusive or toxic and in a high level, and you escape from that situation, or it was very difficult for you to find the courage to leave that, and you finally get away. It can make someone get to a place where they almost like build up this like guard, right? And that's why we're seeing that Four of Pentacles. That's that guard that you've built up. That's that protective mechanism, okay? That you have built up to protect yourself. And I feel like it's like a form of PTSD. I mean, I say that a lot in my readings, y'all, but cancers struggle with this. And I feel like, you don't want to label it because you are always the strong one, right? Fixing it for everyone else and being okay for everyone else. So it's hard for you to label yourself with, anything. But I do see that a lot in your readings, right? Having had a troubled or traumatic past, and that carrying over into your anxiety or your energy, you know what I mean, overall. So, yeah, that's what I'm getting. I'm getting right now, presently, you're sitting in a space of not letting someone in. That's where you are right now. Now, I'm going to clarify all of this. Now, we have the Eight of Swords in the reverse and the Queen of Swords, and this is in the future position. Now, the Eight of Swords in the reverse here represents also the same as the Devil in the reverse. This represents freedom, or someone who, wasn't able to see their way through a situation. It's like someone now, they can see their way through. It's like the light at the end of the tunnel. Um, there's an energy of, uh, baggage being released. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, not having any barriers, or barriers being removed in a way. And with that, we have the Queen of Swords. So this is you. The barriers is you. The barriers are the guards. Those swords are all of those walls that you have put up. It's all of those barriers that you've put around you to keep people from getting to you. You have built your own little prison. Okay. You have built your own little prison system where you're the prisoner. You know what I'm saying? Um, and everyone else is on the outside, right? But you've been the prisoner. And that Queen of Swords, I feel like has been you with your defenses up. But with that Eight of Swords in the reverse, this is coming crashing down. Something is going to be bringing your defenses down here. Okay. So, having said that, um, that again, Five of Pentacles with the Judgment card, there's a fear of being judged. And I don't mean by your person, I mean by spirit. I feel like you are very spiritually in tune with yourself. And I feel like there is a bit of a fear of, you know, um, of the divine judging you. You know what I'm saying? For not making the right decision. Okay. Not choosing the right, the best decision for yourself. So now this is what we're going to do. So now I'm going to show you for every card I clarified with a whole nother deck here. All right. So the King of Pentacles, we're going to go back to the past here. King of Pentacles, like I said, I feel like there was a marriage. This represents a marriage or someone you were married to. And there was uh, I feel like you either divorced this person or you separated from this person, or there was some sort of a separation, or you were able to get away or out of this toxic relationship. Okay. Now, King of Pentacles, we have the Four of Pentacles. So this is the Four of Pentacles, and you have the Four of Pentacles twice now. Okay, because it was under the deck. So you have that here with the King of Pentacles. All right. So, again, that was all about safety and protection here. And here we go with the Four of Pentacles, also referring to you protecting or being very guarded. Okay. Having to protect yourself, perhaps. Not feeling safe with someone that you should have felt safe with. Again, I feel like there's an energy of having you being married and being in a position of being very guarded, just very, very, I want to say insecure. I'm going to go as far as to say insecure. All right. And with the devil in the reverse, shocking, but not, we got the Eight of Swords in the reverse again. So now we have the Eight of Swords in the reverse twice. So you have the Four of Pentacles twice now. You have the King to the Queen of Swords. Two people who are at odds with one another, or there's a lot of defensiveness, okay, defensive energy going on between you and this person. But we have the Eight of Swords in the reverse. So again, freedom. Freedom, and this card represents freedom. Okay. So um there was definitely an energy of you felt like you were trapped or stuck in a situation and you freed yourself from this. So this could have been a very toxic, a very difficult, or uh, abusive relationship, and it may have been very hard, but you got out of that relationship. So now you're sitting in the energy of not letting anyone close to you, not letting anyone close to you, being very guarded, extremely guarded here. So, with the Two of Wands, we have temperance, Sagittarius energy, strong Sagittarius energy here. And with the King of Swords, we have the Moon in the reverse, Piscean energy. So, the Two of Wands here, again, this is someone, and with Temperance here, this talks about balance or things balancing out. Okay. Things balancing out. I feel like with the Two of Wands energy and Temperance, this is also has to do with you going through your healing phase. Okay. Going through your healing phase. And I feel like you should allow yourself to feel whatever anxiety that came with that previous situation. Okay, being with someone who is extremely toxic, that can cause a lot of anxiety to the point where, baby, you don't know if you are coming or going. Do you understand? You will find yourself sitting down for 15 minutes and you'll get up 4 hours later and don't remember anything about what you did. That literally is a state of confusion, right? That is a state of confusion. Okay. And with the moon being in the reverse, again, I feel like currently you're not in the situation where you're with that toxic person. However, you still have that mentality. It has affected you mentally. Being with a narcissist is mentally debilitating. It will cause someone to literally lose their mind if they're not careful, if they don't identify what they're dealing with. If you don't identify it, you will find yourself going to the cuckoo house. One flew over the cuckoo's nest. That will be you. Okay. You'll be feeding the little birds um, in the neighborhood, and you'll have 100 cats. No shade to the cat lady or the bird lady of the neighborhood or anything like that. But I'm telling you, you will be there if you don't release that energy. And remember what I talked about, I think, at the beginning of the reading about being an empath and having people around you that a lot of different energies around can cause things to become a distraction, especially if people are like in a different wave frequency. Yeah, I can't have a bunch of people that have a bunch of different spirits on them in my house. I just can't do it. If you got demons on you, I cannot invite you in my home because you're going to drop all your demons off and you're going to go to the next person. And you know what I mean? Like I can't. I have felt it happen so many times. And I'm not a person that has company and random people coming in and out my house all day. Not even my family. You know what I mean? Like if I have like a family gathering, that's one thing. Okay. Okay. But just like on a daily basis, my house is not a revolving door. It cannot be. I can't thrive in that environment because I am an empath and I pick up on everybody's energy. I feel every spirit, whether it's good or bad, and it's just not good. It's not good. It's not good. So, a lot of spiritual baths, a lot of salt baths. That's why I do a lot of that, a lot of prayer, and a lot of meditation on my part. Because, yeah. So there it is. Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. Eight of swords in the reverse. That is so funny. But again, temperance with the moon in reverse. So while you're healing, okay, while you are healing, I feel like you're in this energy of being in your safe zone, right? But I feel like your guard is going to be coming down, right? That's what this Eight of Swords in the reverse and the Queen of Swords means. This is someone's guard is coming down. There's going to be a reason for this, though, right? I'm sure. Let's see. So, with that Eight of Swords in the reverse, we have the Chariot. Oh, hey. This talks about somebody feeling a little jiggy or ambitious, someone who wants to move forward. They're feeling extremely confident about moving forward with something. And then we have the Queen of Swords and we have the Ten of Swords, which, listen, good combination in this case when it sits next to the Chariot, because that Chariot talks about moving forward. And why are we moving forward? Because the Ten of Swords is this, whatever this negative thing is that you dealt with in the past, it's over. It has ended. This talks about something being done. You're at the end of the road. It's over and done. So we're moving past it. We're letting the guard down here. But there's a reason, and I told you this, that Chariot again is all about ambition or success, or there's could be a Cancer, another Cancer, but there is something that is making you feel confident or um, motivating you to move forward and get over that in the past. So let's see. We have the High Priestess under the deck, and we have the Four of Pentacles. And to clarify, we pulled the Queen of Wands. Under the deck, we have the Nine of Wands here. So, and I said that the High Priestess and the Four of Pentacles, that's someone who's very spiritually guarded. And that Queen of Wands, that talks about confidence. This is someone who is confident, with the Nine of Wands, that someone is going to be there. So that again is all about your respect for spirit. You don't want to ever make a decision or be in a position where you feel as though you're disrespectful to spirit or to God, or that you're doing something that would cause God to, you know, leave. You know what I mean? Or abandon you in a situation, which God would never abandon you. But you know what I mean. There's the energy of not wanting to be disrespectful or dishonorable to spirit. Okay? You don't want to be dishonorable to spirit. Very conscious of your reverence for spirit here, Cancer. Um, so why do you have the Five of Pentacles and the Judgment card here? I feel like there's an energy of someone who has a fear of making the wrong decision that's going to affect everything. You know, the Judgment card talks about something that pretty much it has a lasting final effect. It changes everything. It's a final decision. You know what I'm saying? Once you make this decision, you can't go back type energy. Or it's final. Once this, you know what I'm saying? You can't undo it. And you have a fear of doing that. You don't want to make a decision that you can't take back, basically. Right? So, with that being said, we have the Three of Swords in the reverse and the Three of Wands. Go figure. So, Three of Swords in the reverse. This is all about healing, forgiveness, okay, moving on, okay, or moving past something, getting over a situation. And look, the Three of Wands also represents moving forward, okay, moving forward, growing, moving on to the next phase, getting past a situation, traveling to the next stage, going from A to B, not staying in the same place, basically. Not staying in the same place, forgiving yourself and moving forward. So, with that being said, with that Five of Pentacles and the Judgment card, I feel like Cancer, what this is saying is once you fully heal from this past trauma, right? Once you fully heal from this past connection, then you're going to move on. There's an energy of you're going to let go of all of that and you're going to be able to move forward. And you're also not going to look back. See what I mean? The Three of Swords is in the reverse, and you have it next to the Three of Wands, baby. Both of them are threes. So, yes, you're going to be moving forward. You're going to be getting over this trauma. So, now let's look to see the three oracle messages that I pulled because I'll pull oracle at the beginning. In this case, I pulled them at the end. So I have cope in the reverse. This is your energy here. We have messed up over you, and it's actually icked up over you. Let's just say that. Mucked up over you. There you go. Okay. And we have cope in the reverse and mucked up over you, which both of them mean the same thing. And then we have karmic ties. Okay. So taking this into account with your energy here. Again, I feel like with cope in the reverse and mucked up over you, I feel like with karmic ties, this was an energy of you were messed up over a karmic situation, something that happened in the past. Now, whether or not it was the same person or a completely different connection, we don't know this yet. Okay? We don't know this yet. However, I feel like in some ways, I feel like this could be the same person. I feel like you may There may be some forgiveness coming with this situation here because I'm seeing a lot of cards that talk about forgiveness here. Let's just say that right now. So let's see. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you um, what am I going to show you? I'm so confused. So I have, that's your person's energy here. Okay, so now we're going to go through your person's cards here. I'm sorry, y'all. Just trying to get this right. All right, so for your person's side, we have the Queen of Pentacles and the Six of Cups, and this is in the past here, I think. Hold on. I'm going to make sure I'm doing this right. Why did I have those cards? Okay, okay. Yeah, that's in the past here. Okay, make sure I did this right. Then I have the Knight of Wands and the Five of Cups. Okay, this is on your person's side. Knight of Wands and the Five of Cups. Y'all, I don't know if I did that right. Oh my goodness. Yes, I did. I did it right. Okay. And then in the future position for your person, we have the Three of Wands and we have the Tower. Okay, strong fire energy. Okay, so your person's side, we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Six of Cups, the Knight of Wands with the Five of Cups, and we have the Three of Wands with the Tower. Okay, strong fire energy. Underneath the deck, okay, we have the Knight of Cups with the Queen of Wands, with the King of Cups and the World. Okay, fire energy, and this is underneath the deck. Strong fire energy with the Tower and the World here. Okay. All right. So, in the past position for your person's energy with the Queen of Pentacles. So, what's funny is in the very same position on your side, you have the King of Pentacles. So, we have a true pair. We have a true pair. King of Pentacles to the Queen of Pentacles here. Okay. First cards out for your energy and your person's energy. So, so the Queen of Pentacles and the Six of Cups here. So this can represent someone I feel like this is okay. So the Six of Cups represents good vibes, it represents happy memories. Okay, and this is the past energy. And with the Queen of Pentacles, this could be someone that um, you were married to. And I feel like this person, like whoever this person you were with, they have good memories of the past. They see they see the past with you as a happy time. They have a lot of good memories when they look back on the past. Okay. With the Knight, or I'm sorry, yeah, the Knight of Wands and the Five of Cups in the current energy. This is someone who is almost like someone who is very much, I don't want to say a player. I hate calling the Knight of Wands a player. Um, but we'll say this person is very much free and single. Okay. Free, single, and free. Let's just call it single and free. All right. I'm not going to call the Knight of Wands a player. We'll call them single and free. The Five of Cups represents someone who is not happy with this. It's like they don't want to be sitting in that energy of being single. They want to be in a relationship. They want to have someone that they can call their person. See what I mean? This is somebody who is not, in a good place. Not in a good place. I feel like in the past with the Queen of Pentacles and the Six of Cups, there's an energy again, someone who is very emotionally happy in the past, but in their current energy, they're not. They're not. This could also represent someone who is reconciling with um, a, uh, someone that they have children with. They could be getting back together with an ex, a baby mama, a baby daddy. Gender is not, it's not specific with gender here. This is just the energy. It's just feminine energy here with the queen versus the king. It could be that someone was trying to get back with you after the separation in the past. Okay. And I feel like this person is now sitting in the energy of being in their feelings because things didn't go the way they intended. This person is now sitting single. They're now single. They're not a Queen of Pentacles. They're not in a relationship, but they're not happy about this right now. So, whatever the case is, I feel like you may have separated from this person. They weren't happy about it when it happened. So now we have the Three of Wands in the Tower, which this is interesting because now this person is taking action. Now this person is learning lessons, they're growing up. This is someone who's going through a sudden change or a sudden, what do you call it, a growth spurt. So basically, this person is maturing. They've gone through some sort of life situation, and we saw the judgment card before. Yeah, we saw the judgment card. So I do feel like there is an energy of this person has learned some sort of a major lesson here, right? I feel like they have gone through some sort of a lesson where, and now this person is kind of grown up or they have matured. This person has matured and they did it quickly. They didn't waste any time. With the Knight of Cups under the deck and the Queen of Wands, with the King of Cups and the World, that's interesting because this is like, this is like someone, so this is interesting. So with the Knight of Cups here, what I'm getting here is this could be someone that you were in a relationship and I feel like you both may have had children with one another, right? But you weren't married. You weren't married. I feel like, Cancer, I feel like again, there's an energy of you wanted to be free from toxicity in the past. This person was sitting in the energy of everything was like they were fine with the way things were, but you weren't satisfied with this. Now we have the Knight of Wands with that Five of Cups letting me know that this person is not pleased with the fact that now they're sitting in that Knight of Wands energy. Like you left. There was a separation here. You have the King of Cups, the World here. There was some sort of a separation, and now everything is changing. With the World, this is causing some sort of a major shift, and everything is going to change when either you separate or walk away from this person. There may be, you may break up with this person. Whatever it is that you do, it's going to cause a dynamic change in the connection. Everything is going to change. So, King of Pentacles here. Let's break it down. Queen of Pentacles, sorry. We have the Page of Cups. And with the Six of Cups, we have the Eight of Wands. That Page of Cups represents an apology, and that Eight of Wands is someone who's coming in with a lot of communication. So someone is coming in to apologize here. And again, this is on your person's side. And they're coming in to apologize to someone from the past. And I feel like, again, since you moved away from this person, I feel like this is you. With the Knight of Wands, we have the Death card. Yep. That's when everything changed. That's when everything changed. Look, and then we have the Two of Swords to further clarify. So the death card and the two of swords, this person is now sitting in the energy of wanting to make changes or wanting to cut something away or wanting to remove something, whatever it is that's keeping them from this person. Now there's an energy of this person is ready to change. See, you have the three of wands here with the tower, and then you have the high priestess and the ace of wands. That high priestess talks about, I feel like, very quiet, someone is not speaking. And then you have the ace of wands. This is talking about someone. Okay. Okay. That ace of wands is a high level of excitement, um, or it's someone who has a lot of passion, or someone who's just ready to start something. And I feel like this is that energy. This is someone who has not been speaking, or someone who has been disconnected or separated from their person, right? And I feel like something is going to change this situation. You have the Knight of Cups with the Queen of Wands, and then you have the Empress and the Five of Swords. This person is extremely attracted to you. There's an energy of this person doesn't know what to say. I also feel like this represents a fear. This person may be afraid of, losing you to someone else. We have the Knight of Cups and we have the Tower. So now this person is going to come in communicating. Now, all of a sudden, this person is going to come in with a lot of communication. And the reason why is because they're afraid of losing you. They're afraid of losing you. And only because there has been distance, there has been silence. I feel like had it not been for the high priestess and the king of cups here, I don't feel like there would have been any change. Okay. I don't feel like there would have been any change here. So I said I was going to pull cards to clarify cope, messed up over you, and karmic ties. And this is cope in the reverse. Okay, look, we got three cards. We got three cards. So we got the moon. Look, we got the eight of cups. Look, and the knight of swords. See? I told you there's an energy. This is someone who is to the point where they cannot stress out. They can't worry about being worried anymore. They can't. This is an energy of someone who is like, I'm tired of not knowing what tomorrow is going to bring. I'm tired of worrying about it. I'm tired of losing sleep over what I have no control over, and if it's something that is causing me, you know, this much torment, I need to just let it go. There's an energy of just needing to let it go because it is causing you torment. It is causing you torment. The PTSD, the stress, the anxiety, the worrying about, you know, even if there was something, even if there was something going on that you couldn't control, even if you knew about it, what difference would it make? Like, literally. Other than perhaps you may do something detrimental to yourself, okay? Or just detrimental, period, okay? Because again, I feel like for you to react to a situation that's negative is only going to be a negative reaction. For every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. So I feel like when people operate negatively towards you, the best you can do is pray, pray. Forgive that person and pray and release it, let it go. Don't take that negativity because they want you to go to hell with them. So they want you to take their negative actions and they want you to respond with a double negative so that you can be further in hell than they are. See what I mean? Misery loves company. As long as you remember that, you will go far. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So I love to keep these readings at under an hour, under a half hour. This one's going into an hour, but it was super super deep. I am going to come back with part 2. Okay? I am. I'm going to come back with part 2. We're going to look at your person's cards. I've pulled all of that. Everything is right here. And then we're going to go and start getting into the tarot messages at the end. Um, we're going to look at a whole nother deck, is what I'm saying, when we start to look at the challenges. But we are going to look at your person's energy next. We'll look at the challenges, the advice, and then we'll take things into an extended. But let's start with part 2 coming up in just a bit. I love you guys so much. Take care of each other and yourselves, and I will see you soon. If I haven't announced the winners, I am going to do it later, you guys. I've just been getting all my ducks in a row. Okay, so don't worry. I am going to announce the winners very soon. I love you guys. Hashtag win in the comments. Thumbs up the video, y'all. Thumbs up the video, y'all. Thumbs up the video. I love you. See you next time. Bye.